This presentation is based off of the information that I gathered during research for the theory response essay. I chose social control theory because for me it's interesting to examine theories that try to explain possible reasons as to why criminals act in the way that they do. This particular theory involves sociology and criminology. Sociology is the study of social problems, and criminology is the scientific study of crime and criminals. This theory was developed by an American criminologist by the name of Travis Hirschi. In 1969, he wrote an essay detailing this theory, which is originally known as the social bond theory, and he explains his belief of 4 variables that have a tremendous impact on an individual's likelihood to become a criminal or to act out in problematic behavior. The 4 variables that he discusses are attachment, commitment, involvement, and belief. Dr. Hirschi describes an individual's attachment to others as being the determining factor of their ability to internalize norms, conscience, and superego. For example, having healthy relationships with family and friends can be a positive impact on an individual, whereas poor family life or not being able to build friendships with peers can have a negative impact on an individual. Commitment is the idea that people generally obey rules for fear of the consequences of breaking them. For example, John always goes the speed limit because he does not want to get pulled over by a police officer, and he does not want to be given a speeding ticket with a fine of $250. The third variable that he discusses in his paper is involvement. And to Dr. Hirschi, involvement is the idea that an individual who is heavily involved in conventional activities simply does not have time to engage in deviant behavior. So for example, if you stay busy with work, school, family life, church, stuff like that, socially acceptable behavior, then you just simply don't have time to commit criminal activity. The 4th variable that Dr. Hirschi discusses in his theory is belief. Beliefs are a common value system within a culture. A criminal either disregards the beliefs they've been taught entirely, or they rationalize their behavior so that they can engage in criminal activity and still believe that it's wrong. These 4 variables encourage compliance with standards and acceptable social behavior. A few more of Dr. Hirschi's ideas are that people in general tend to act in accordance with the principles of logic, reason, and one's personal interest. He also believes that social institutions such as schools, workplaces, churches, and families provide a framework for how a society is supposed to act and how society learns right from wrong. Without these institutions and the control they have on society, most people would commit crime. Dr. Hirschi also believes that individuals who learn self-control early on in life are less likely to become involved in criminal activity as adolescents. I found that Christopher Donner, Lori Friedel, and Wesley Jennings really gave a great summary of this theory in an article that they all wrote together titled "The Relationship Between Self-Control and Police Misconduct." They state that Hirschi's social control theory hypothesizes that people conform to pro-social behaviors due to the strength of informal social controls, for example, parents, teachers, schools. These bonds represent one's connectedness to society and, in theory, restrain individuals from deviant behavior. According to this perspective, humans are inherently hedonistic, need no additional motivation to commit crime, and will engage in deviance if they are not sufficiently controlled. As social beings, people crave interaction with others, and the inability to build significant social networks leads to feelings of alienation and isolation. Thus, the stability and social order gained from social cohesion promotes conformity and discourages deviance.